Hi, it's Heather from True North Spirit Medicine here. How you going? Today I'm going to be doing the energy reading for May 2022. Okay, I'm using my phone as the camera this time instead of my Sony Handycam, and I'm using the rear-facing camera, so I can't actually see what I'm doing, which is a bit like me when I'm normally teaching, because normally I don't look at myself while I'm teaching or doing readings. But it's a little bit strange for this because I can't actually see what's in frame. So I'm just assuming that it's going to be good. Anyway, we'll see how we go. So I'm going to use the Kyle Gray deck this month. Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards, artwork by Lillian Moses. See, I can't see the frame, so I'm hoping that's good because, you know, if it's not any good for you, I'll figure out how to bring the cards up, overlaying onto the video as we go. But it should be okay. I did a test run, it was fine. The rear camera is a better camera and has better sound than the front facing camera, which is what I learned in my experiment. So that's why I'm doing it this way, so I can't see. I was going to say doing it blind, but I'm not really doing it blind. Anyway, yeah, it's been an interesting month. I'm recording this on the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. Wrong symbol for Star Wars, but you know. And I woke up really early this morning, like 4:30. So I'm a bit tired already, even though it's lunchtime. But hopefully recording this on my phone means that I should be able to get it up onto YouTube sooner. So we'll see how we go. Okay, so again, I'm going to draw the cards first, excuse me. And then I'll do the direct channel bizzo. Okay. So I've just been asking for the best messages for the people watching for the month of May 2022. And for those messages to be loud and clear, as the crow calls, loud and clear and full of joy and benevolence and fun. Okay, so we'll see what we get. So I'm going to draw 3 cards and I'll show them to you as we go along. Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to have a look and see the order. It's good. Okay. So I'm just going to tune in and see what our messages are for this month. Greetings again, my dear ones. Thank you for joining us here today. For you do realize that you also sit at this council of elders every time you sit with us. Every time you reach out in your meditations or your cries in the night, we hear you and we come to you, just as we come to Heather. So we thank you again for your participation in this great shift that we are in. For it is becoming more and more obvious that the dark and the light are indeed in battle. But it is a battle that can be won by the light. It is a battle that is being won by the light. And in many ways, it is a battle that has already been won by the light. This is very important for you to remember, for when you feel hopeless and in despair, and you spin in your circles of confusion or worry or disdain, then you are feeding the wolf that you don't want to feed. When you can rise above that, just like you sit above the clouds when you fly in a plane when there is turbulence, remember? When you sit above that and you rise above that and you bring your self-peace in your own heart, and you bring yourself peace in your own life, and you connect with us in your meditations, and you connect with joy, and you connect with benevolence and love. When you pay attention to the birds in the trees, and the sunlight on the leaves, and the dew on the flowers, then you are indeed connecting with us. And when you sit on the grass, with your bare feet connected to nature, and you are also with us. Sorry. It is very important for you to raise your vibration at this time, to keep it as high as possible, to rise above those clouds that seem so close and so dense around your heads. It is a bit like an archer when they draw their arrow back against the bow and they are readying to take aim at a target. A simple circle on a board. Their focus is pinpoint. Their focus is only on that target, only on that red circle in the center. They do not look around, they do not listen to others, they do not pay attention to the fears that may rise within them. They just focus on that target, that goal. And they must know within every cell of their being that they will hit that goal. That when they let fly their arrow, that it will fly true through the air, and it will land, and it will land in the center of their focus. You must each be like the archer in this current time. You must aim only for what you wish to see in this world. The peace on the planet, the sharing of resources, the wealth of food and clean water, the sense of safety and joy available to each one of us. And it is us, these forerunners, these way showers, these lighthouses, these light workers. It is us that lead the way. It is us that hold those arrows true to the target and let fly the potentials of all of these great things that are coming to the planet, because we can see it, we can feel it. And if you don't think you can see it, and if you don't think you can feel it, then in your meditations you must ask us for guidance on how to get there for yourself. You must ask us to give you the support that you need. And we will indeed come to you and hold you tight as you sleep, or as you meditate, or as you rest your feet on the ground, and as you are watching the sunlight on the leaves and the flowers. We will be with you, holding your hand and walking you through these turbulent times of the shift, and lead you straight towards your goal. So please remember that each of your individual goals are what we are talking about here, as well as the global, as well as the collective, as well as the universal, of course. But it is each of those goals that you wish to bring forth into the world. A beautiful dinner for your family, a magnificent score for a song, a story, a poem, a shared loaf of bread with your neighbours. Whatever it is that brings you joy and you feel you need to take action on, then that is what you must take action on. We have been saying this for months and months. Those dreams, those sparkles, those stars in your heart, it is time to light them up. It is time to light them up. It is up to you, and you can do it. We have great faith in you, just as we have great faith in humanity. For we have seen this before. We have seen civilizations go through this shift and succeed, to pull themselves out of these very dark places of low consciousness and rise above that, to sit at the table with us, to sit in honor at this table with us, this council of elders, of wise masters, of which you are one. And if you don't believe us, you would not be sitting here listening to us if you were not masterful. And in these times, it is the celebration of mastery that we are asking you to pull forth from all of your lives and all of your experiences, to allow you to sing and dance in joy of what is coming, ahead of everybody else, remember. Your arrow will hit the target. Have no fear, for we are guiding that arrow, just as you are pinpointing your focus on those shiny dreams that you have for yourself and for all of humanity. And for that, we thank you greatly. In much love, so it is. It's so nice when they come and sit with us. Oh yeah, sorry about my scratchy throat in the middle there. I felt like that was an opening up, actually. I didn't want to interrupt their dialogue, because I get extra information and extra feelings and extra visuals and stuff when I'm channeling, and what I felt with that part in particular was that they were talking about the increase in energy. You know, they've been talking about, and I've been writing about it in the newsletter and stuff recently, about the shifting of frequency and the fineness of that. In the newsletter that'll be up in a few days, I'm going to talk about that a little bit more, actually. But yeah, it's about I guess allowing our human systems to upgrade, essentially, and that can have some physical effects. So you might have some headaches, or be thirsty, or be tired, or get a bit dizzy, or you know, get sort of shaky energy in your meditations, or you know, lots of those kind of symptoms of ascension or whatever. But yeah, that felt like an opening up into this new frequency. And they were also talking at the same time about how important it is to open your heart to these new frequencies as well. And they're laughing because I'm wearing pink. I don't often wear pink, as some of you already know. And funnily enough, when I got up this morning after waking up stupidly early, I was actually wearing all black, which is fine, wisdom colour. And I just went, oh, well, that'll do. But I really felt like I wanted to change before I made this video. And ironically, to bright pink. You should see the colour of the trousers that I've got on. They're really bright. And I didn't feel that bright this morning when I first woke up. But anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, heart. Yeah, so as you know, pink and green are the colours of the heart chakra, so that's quite funny. And the rose quartz wanted to be worn today as well. Okay, so I think that all made sense. It's a little weird. I'm so used to having to see myself when I make these videos, so it's kind of strange not to, but I think I like it a bit better. Okay, so cards. So we have 3. Air Guardian, Oracle, and White Witch. They're all really powerfully female cards. So the first one's Air Guardian, and it says shift your perception. And it's got a lovely woman with this beautiful headdress or headpiece on, and she's got lovely wings and lots of lovely clouds and stuff behind her. Now I'm going to hold it up to the camera and assume that you can see, because I'm not quite sure how. I mean, I tried it anyway, you know. Air Guardian. Shift your perception. Okay, so straight away, before I even put the card down, they're talking about what we were just talking about, the shifting of the raising of and the shifting of the vibration. It's really, really important. For a couple of years now, I want to say 2017, since about then, I think, people have been talking about, and Cryon in particular, Cryon was the first person I heard talk about it, talk about changing the frequency of the meditations. So for hundreds of years, I want to say millennia, the meditation frequency was a particular band. I often saw it as a gold color. And anyway, there was an invitation then in 2017. You can do it today if you haven't done it already. Highly recommended, to allow for that to shift. And I often use the analogy of, and I think I've said this on video before, I can't remember, you know, if you listen to the radio in your car and you're driving some distance, and you want to keep listening to the same radio station, you have to adjust the dial in order to stay on that frequency. And so what's been happening since 2017, I think it's 2017, they're saying yes, that's nice. It's been a constant retuning, refining, I want to say, of that main sort of meditation or connection. Really, it's a connection to source energy, frequency. And so this card saying shift your perception, they're saying it is about that. It's exactly about that. And quite recently, maybe a couple of weeks ago, which is, I'll write about this a bit more in the newsletter that'll be out in a few days. Another upgrade has come in, basically. And so my croaky, scratchy throat just now in that opening channel was an opening, and even further opening, bad grammar, but you know what I mean, of my throat chakra, to allow them, so my guides and that council of elders and all the rest of the spiritual team, to come through even more, even bigger, even bolder and even braver. That's quite cool. And so, of course, this invitation is for you as well in your own lives. So, you know, maybe you're wanting to share that loaf of bread with your neighbor or whatever it is, but you feel a bit shy, or maybe your bread's not good enough or whatever. And the invitation here is to step up and do it anyway, to not listen to those old fears that have been, I want to say, embedded in your heart from the past. So they're saying, and they're showing me this lovely, it's like when you stand under a waterfall or a shower or something, things just wash off you. They're saying it's much, much easier now, if you allow it, when you shift your perception, to let these old fears and these old habits and these old, it's like past life energies to drop away, to wash away. They're saying it's much, much easier now once you're on this new frequency of perception. Yeah, that makes sense, right? That's kind of cool. I like that. So I'm just asking them how. They're laughing because they think it's funny. We always need instruction. They're saying just ask, just command, just state that it drops away. So maybe there's somewhere in my past where I was, you know, for being a witch or a wizard or a, you know, whatever. And so I can, as an example, I can just ask for that old fear to be removed, and then it would be easier for me to step up and channel or visit my neighbour or whatever it is. Yeah, that makes sense, right? It does. Yeah, it does. Sometimes I talk too softly for the video because I make the room really quiet before I record. So I feel like everything's really quiet, but it's not. It just sounds like mumbling otherwise. Oh, I'm really tired. Sorry, I'm babbling a bit. I tend to swear a lot and babble a lot when I'm really tired. I don't really swear when I'm doing reading. So anyway, okay, Oracle. So this is the second card, Oracle. Wait for important information. And it's got a lovely lady with a offering bowl with some, I want to say like holy smoke, you know, maybe some incense smoke rising from it. She's got a beautiful kind of deep red shawl on her head. It's an Oracle. Wait for important information. I don't know how close to bring it. Sorry. I will do what I normally do with these cards and photograph them and put them up on Facebook and Instagram once the video's up. So if you want to have a closer look at the cards, you can. Okay, so I'm just asking what they want to say about this one. Oracle, wait for important information. They're showing me the bowl straight away, like the offering bowl. And saying that's important, and I'm waiting for them to tell me why that's important. This is one of those moments where it's taking a little while. Sorry. It's okay. Oh, they're talking about giving. Ah, okay. So the feeling that I started to get when I first started saying the word giving was the practice, the discipline of sending peace out into the world at this time, particularly to places like Ukraine. Please don't forget, please don't stop, please try not to go into compassionate fatigue and forget that it's happening or get overwhelmed by it. Please see the space around you as being a really powerful, beautiful, bright, sparkly light grid that you contribute to with your consciousness. Okay? It's really important that you give into that field of consciousness. And you give into that field gratitude, peace, love, joy, laughter, all of those high vibe emotions. You know, I've just named a couple, but there's lots more, obviously. But it's really important. They're saying that is what is the key to that focus of the arrow. Okay, that focus of the arrow is your ascended consciousness, your high consciousness, your powerful thinking and knowing about all of this stuff, and knowing that all of this stuff is real, more real than just about anything, and remembering that it's important to contribute, remembering that it's important to give. And of course that giving with the emotion is that magnetic energy that you're putting into the field. And if you remember the old adage of what you put out, you get back like tenfold or a millionfold, or you know, however many times you want to say, it doesn't matter. So that, but what you put into the field, you also receive. Okay, so the more gratitude and love and peace and joy and laughter and focus for a better future you put into the field, the more you can receive from the field. Does that make sense? They're saying it's important to know that if you don't feel that you can contribute positive thoughts to the air around you, the field around you, the energy around you, it doesn't mean that you're not going to receive any. Okay, that's important to know. But the more that you give, the more that you can receive. Because if everyone gives more, then there's automatically more to receive. That makes sense. Yeah. So remembering, they're saying wait for important information. They're saying this is the important information. That's funny. Yeah, it's really key this month. What are we in? May. to keep up your practice daily, multiple times daily, of sending energy into the field, sending good energy into the field. It's really, really important. They're saying that it's this month in particular, in this year in particular, is like a fulcrum, a pivot. They're showing me like a seesaw. You know, a seesaw has to pivot on something, you know. And if we're talking about a light dark balance, and remembering that light wins, it's like, I watched an episode, it's like we're at the tipping point, yeah, and your high vibe thinking helps this upward momentum, is what they're saying. I was just going to say, I was watching there's an Australian cartoon, it's made in Brisbane actually, which is quite sweet, and they write the music, original music for it every episode. It's quite phenomenal. It's called Bluey. It's a kids cartoon. My young nephews were talking about it and had been watching it, so you know, anyway, I started watching it. Now I really like it. It's really good. It's on ABC TV in Australia, and you'd be able to get it on ABC iView, you know, if you're in different countries. It's really good. It's very clever. It's very sweet. Anyway, there was an episode the other day, and the dad was, so they're cattle dogs. It's a cartoon. The dad was on one end of the seesaw in the playground, and the two kids, who the Bluey is one of the daughters, one of the main characters, or the main character, were on the other end. And of course they're only little, so they were, but then they got all their friends from the playground to get on the other end of the seesaw. And so and then dad picked up some rocks, and you know, he had a pet rock all of a sudden, and there was this tiny little like fluffy Pomeranian character, and they got it, little young thing, to climb up, and it was a big effort and all the rest of it. And it was her that tipped the balance, this tiny little white fluffy thing. And then they were like, yay, and dad fell off, and you know, it was all just a lot of fun. But the point is that it's a pivotal month in a pivotal year. Okay, so keeping our focus and adding our little Pomeranian fluffy little piece to the puzzle it's a weird analogy, but go with me here, is really important. Okay, it's really important. I can just see this little fluffy Pomeranian. It was really cute. Maybe you can look it up and watch it yourself. It's really sweet. And they're saying the other important thing here is teamwork. You know, the two main cartoon characters got their friends from the playground to help them. So that collaboration and community is really important. They're saying is still really important, because I think we've been talking about that for a while too. But it's becoming more important, okay? Yeah, so, you know, reach out, lean on your friends, allow others to join your circle, you know, your group of friends, or your community or whatever. Yeah, it's important. It's important. And yeah, and that'll help get you through as well, is what they're saying. So they're holding your hand, and then your, you know, human community holds your hand as well. And then we all hold hands. It's quite nice. Yeah, okay, so third card. It's turned into a really nice sunny day this morning. Today, I mean, it's lunchtime. But this morning it was quite cloudy and grey and dim. But now the sun's out. It's quite nice. Okay. Last card, White Witch, be the light. And again, it's another beautiful woman. She's very kind of foresty looking. She's got a butterfly and some beautiful leaves in her hair, and she's got an owl sitting with her. There's berries as well, and a star. This artwork is really lovely. White Witch, be the light. And again, I can't see what I'm doing with the frame, so I'm hoping it's able to be seen clearly. I'm guessing. I'm also guessing that this is recording properly, or still recording. White Witch, be the light. Well, it's everything we've just been talking about, isn't it? Shift your perception. get onto the higher frequency, wait for the important information, which is for today, this month. Keep sending that powerful consciousness that you have out into the field, knowing that it makes a difference, knowing that it makes an important difference, and knowing that it makes an immediate difference. Okay, when we do this, when we send energy out into the field, it's not like, you know, waiting for the 6 o'clock news to see if the news reports got better. It's knowing that those people, for example, in Ukraine at the moment, are immediately feeling uplifted because you have sent good vibes into the field, have put good energy into the field, have put compassion and love and benevolence and joy and laughter into the field. Okay, immediate. And then be the light. And that is being the light. That is mastery. Okay, so shifting your perception, free will, allowing the guidance that comes from I was going to say an external source, but it's really an internal source at the same time, isn't it? From a higher source, a higher vibration. And then that allows you to hold the light and to be the light and to be more shiny and to be more colourful and to be more bright and focused in your own life. And knowing that that has an effect on the rest of the world and the universe and the rest of the galaxy. What we do here matters. What you do in your life matters. It matters far more greatly than we can ever imagine. That's pretty powerful. I feel like there's something else with this card. Hang on, I'll just ask. So I asked for that, but also any last messages. And they're pointing out the owl in this card. And they're saying that the connection to nature is really important. It's still really important. It's going to continue to be really important. So look for those who care about nature. Okay, there's quite a big election, a federal election coming up in Australia in just a couple of weeks' time. So if you've got any spare good vibes, can you please send it this way? That would be awesome. And what I've been doing is imagining our Houses of Parliament just full of light, full of beautiful white, golden, sparkly diamond light. That's every time I hear something on the radio or catch a bit of the news or see a headline in the outside the shop at the newsagents or whatever, I just blast it with light, and it's full of light. It's amazing. So if you are either in Australia or elsewhere, could you please make that part of your discipline, particularly over the next couple of weeks, because it's a big one. So yeah, they were relating that to politics as well, because I know there's other elections, big elections coming up this year. And again, it's a pivotal year, right, in this whole grand shift through the galaxy across the galactic center. It's a really big year. So staying grounded and connected to nature for ourselves is really important to help balance this new perception, new energy, new frequency, new light that's coming in. Grounding is really important. I think we talked about that last month as well. And paying attention to those people, politicians and others, who are aligned with the planet. That's a really good way to say it. And remembering that trusting your own discernment is the most important skill that you will ever have. So don't be fooled by, what's that? What do they used to call it? Weasel words. You know, poor old weasels. But, you know, people saying one thing and then doing another. Be very aware of that, because I feel like we're going to see a bit more of that as well. So people not walking their talk, but talking loudly. So just be aware of your own feelings and your own perceptions and your own discernment and your own judgment about whether those people who might seem to be talking a good game are actually playing a good game. You know, are they being the light as well? And they're saying that discernment is really key in following those sparkly steps to your own dreams as well, remember. So, you know, you might come across someone who's like, oh, I've got the perfect answer to your problem to get you to your goal, but you've still got to listen to your own gut instinct. You've still got to listen to your own heart. You've still got to listen to your own discernment about whether the person who suddenly appears with what seems to be the right solution is the right person, or they're just, you know, blowing smoke up your ass, basically. I said I didn't swear on camera, but there you go. It's kind of a swear. I'm tired. Sorry. Okay. I think that's it. They're laughing at me because I kind of didn't feel like doing this today, but it needed doing. So they're saying thank you to me for stepping up and doing it, which is nice. But a very big thank you to you all. To you all. Sorry, suddenly became Texan. A very big thank you to you all for everything that you do. For everything that you do. For you are greatly loved. You are greatly seen. You are greatly known and held and cherished by us. Thank you for spending time with us today. Thank you for opening your heart to the possibility of more. And thank you for giving back to those who need it most. We love all of you, and we will see you again very soon. Bye.